105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Pittsburgh Pirates are locking up their top prospect as Connor Griffin has agreed to a 9-year, $140 million extension. Griffin, the 19-year-old, made his debut less than 1 week ago as he will now sign the largest guaranteed contract in Pirates history. Some more baseball news for you as Atlanta Braves pitcher Ronaldo Lopez and Angels designated hitter Jorge Soler were both ejected from the Braves 7-2 win on Tuesday night following a fight that cleared both the benches and bullpens. Soler has received a 6-game suspension for rushing the mound, while Lopez has received a 3-game suspension. Your Oregon Ducks are in a Northwest clash later on today on the diamond as they will take on the Portland Pilots tonight at 5 p.m. at Joe Etzel Field. Pilots took down the Ducks in their last matchup as the Ducks look to redeem themselves in the series. You can catch that game over on 9:10 a.m. when coverage begins at 4:45. Finally, your Portland Trailblazers are on the road taking on the San Antonio Spurs tonight at 6:30 p.m. Blazers will be without Vit Krejci, Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, and Shaedon Sharpe, while Spurs star duo Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle come into the game as doubtful. Blazers come into the contest as 3.5-point underdogs, currently holding the 9th seed in the Western Conference. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Got my Guardians on the TV right now. It's 3-0 over Rob's Kansas City Royals right now. Cole Reagan's got bumped out of this game. I don't know what happened to him. I think he might be hurt or something. Blister, I'm not sure. He's a good young pitcher. Did not have a good start to the day. And who hit a 2 RBI double? Well, that would be Chase DeLauder. CDL, as the kids call him. Commercial driver's license. Isn't that what a CDL is? If you're out there right now driving in a CDL, honk your horn. You know me, baby. Give some love. Let the people around you think like you're about to merge into the fast lane or something and make them all freak out like they're going to be mad at you. Give them a little beep, beep. Give them a little beep, beep. In about 15 minutes, we'll get to some little NFL news and nuggies as training camps are opening up, etc. And one guy wants out, one guy showed up. We'll try to make some sense of any of it and all of it. YouTube is back up, so if you're a YouTuber and you had to switch over to the Odyssey app, or you're listening on FM radio, or hell, maybe you might be on 1080 AM, you can jump over on the YouTubes if that's more your style. Portland Trail Blazers play the Spurs tonight. Probably closing arguments with that as we look forward to that game tonight on ESPN. Been having a lot of conversations off the air, on the air, with myself, with friends, coworkers, etc., about this very polarizing Portland Trail Blazers crossroads we're at. Dare I say, this might be one of the largest crossroads this team's ever been in my memory as a fan.
Shout out my Uncle Charlie.
Shout out my Uncle Charlie. Tom Dundon takes over the team. We heard he kind of, got his hand in the cookie jar a little bit, maybe not in a bad way, letting us know that there was a potential deal on the table around the deadline for a superstar, and it's very clear that Dundon believes that superstar is the way to win in this league, and I don't know how it's not, because the last time I saw a team win without a superstar was the Detroit Pistons in the late 2000s or the early 2000s, even though all 5 of those guys, I know all their names, so I don't know how they're not superstars. So the concept of the Blazers getting a superstar to kind of elevate this team and push the trajectory forward has been a large conversation. Now, a lot of that rolls around this man, around Giannis Antetokounmpo. Great player, an all-time great for sure. Got himself a couple MVPs, I believe, or just the one, I think, and he's got himself a title. He has cemented himself as, one of the all-time greats. Plus, he's just a freak athlete.
Two-time MVP.
Two-time.
2019 and 2020.
I thought it was a 2-time MVP for old Giannis. Now, Giannis, by all intents and purposes, seems like a very likable guy. Like he smiles a lot. He tells a lot of cool stories.
He's got a great story.
Genuinely happy dude. So I think that aspect of Giannis is really great. What's going on in Milwaukee, I'm not quite sure. Like who's in charge of this, who's in trouble, who's screwing it up. But buyer beware. And I actually don't think this has anything to do with what's going on in Milwaukee. I am very concerned that Giannis has peaked. I'm very concerned that Giannis can't stay healthy. And I'm very, very concerned that if the Portland Trail Blazers get Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Blazers live in 3rd or 4th seed purgatory. So it's like right now that sounds really great to every fan out there. The idea of being a 3 seed right now, a 4 seed right now. Hell, if you get the Lakers in the first round with how banged up they are right now, you're looking at the second round, and that would feel a lot better for the Blazers right now than it has in a long time. I think the problem is what Dundon wants and what I'm ready for, and what I've heard a lot of people on this station say, is we're ready to compete for titles, not to compete for 3rd, 4th seed, not to be in the playoffs every year and let the chips fall where they may sort of thing, and maybe you get lucky. No. It's about building a full-on contender. I don't think Giannis is that. I think Giannis is a Band-Aid to make you feel better about the last 5 years being as rough as they are.
Really?
I surely do. I do. And the concept that I have no issue that Damian and Giannis didn't work out. I don't have a problem with that. But there is a large sector of the Blazer population that thinks Damian Lillard is going to be an all-NBA player next year. I don't see that. I think he will be a very nice shooter, a very, very nice shooter, and a very good leader on the court. I don't expect Damian Lillard to change things that much. And if Giannis comes into this program, look, it'll sell seats. I'll be excited. I'll get the jersey. I'll hang out. I'll love seeing Giannis. Are we going to win titles? No, I don't. I think Giannis can't stay healthy. I think he's peaked. He's not a shooter. Look, this team has a lot of really good players. You know what none of them can do? Shoot the basketball. So we're going to add a dude that costs that much money who can't shoot the basketball?
Is Steph Curry still a great scorer?
Yes.
How old is Steph Curry?
Steph Curry doesn't have an Achilles blown. And Steph Curry is maybe the greatest shooter of all time.
I'd argue that Dame is just right there.
And I agree that Dame was just there. I don't know, man. It worries me that it's, like I said, it's a Band-Aid. That we felt so bad and so crappy for, hell, the last 25 years that Giannis is going to make us feel better. What happens in 3-4 years when we're still a 3 seed or a 4 seed and getting bounced in the second round? Or, heaven forbid, Giannis goes down, or he really deteriorates, and now we're back to a 6 or a 7 seed every year. And then what happens? Then the team stinks, and then you have to blow it up, and we're back at this again.
And what was the price that you paid for Giannis? That's
exactly.
My biggest worry is because if Desmond Bane, like you said yesterday, if Desmond Bane
screwed
is going to cost
everybody
you 5
over
first rounds, Giannis Antetokounmpo's price just went absolutely through the roof.
Yes, and Desmond Bane screwed the whole thing over. There are rumors of Trey Murphy and the Pelicans, and that Desmond Bane thing went down. They were like, "Whoa, hey, actually, this deal has changed." So Desmond Bane and the Magic kind of screwed everybody over in this. Luka's the exception because everybody that was ever in charge of any of that should be fired and never allowed in the league again. It's going to cost a lot for Giannis. And what's Giannis going to give you? Is it going to make you feel better for a little bit?
I think it puts you right in championship contention.
You think championship?
Yeah.
Because I don't. I think it sounds nice on paper, but I think when you roll the ball out there, like if Giannis is going to drive to the hoop and be that aggressive, then what does Denny Avdia turn out to be?
Any 2-time MVP you want on your team. Can you name any 2-time MVP that currently sits in the league right now that you wouldn't say, yeah, I'd make it work on my team?
Giannis. It's health, and he can't shoot. This team can't shoot or stay healthy. Why are we adding more to that?
Because I think that right now, you won 41 games. Your biggest piece of the biggest piece of your franchise right now, still Damian Lillard.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And I don't mean to take shots at Dame. I love Dame.
I think that a lot of people are still forgetting about Dame. Because Dame is still one of the greatest shooters that we've ever seen on the court.
True.
He's still a prolific scorer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the injury is going to set him back. But we've also seen guys come back from Achilles injuries, i.e. Kevin Durant, and have success afterwards and still put up a lot of points and still be great scorers. I think, again, if you're looking at Portland and thinking all they need is a shooter, Damian Lillard is posting every single few months his shooting percentages and his three-point just to ease your mind. Just
1,000 threes of 1,090 shots.
Hey, guys, I'm still here. Just wait.
And I hope for the world in that. I hope for the world in that. I really, really do.
And that's where, again, that's me being the optimist. But again, I can understand where Blazers fans, that's all dried up.
I just worry that your ex-girlfriend or your current girlfriend is so awful that someone being nice to you makes you fall in love. And that's somebody that's not actually going to be your future partner. That's what I worry about, is that the team is so starved, the fan base is so desperate that Giannis is going to make them feel better, but in the end is not going to be the piece. Now, the other thing is I don't know who else is available. And I know, Daniel sit here and tell you everyone's available in the NBA. Yeah, okay, everyone is available. You know who's not available? Anthony Edwards is not available. Luka Doncic is not available.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander
is not available. Is J-Dub, that Danny and I were having that conversation off the air. I can't remember if it was off or on yesterday about J-Dub. That's cool. I would love J-Dub in the Blazers uniform. Who is available? If Giannis is the best option, then I'm out. I'd rather have that draft capital. As this texter points out, we've seen the Nets fail with Durant, Harden, and Kyrie. Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving?
I am looking at the 2027 NBA projected free agent listing. It is a lot of names, a lot of people that you think are probably on their last legs where you're going to get cheaper contracts them staying in the league just to get that sweeter deal, and a team is going to find a sweet deal somewhere.
Remember when Russell Wilson was traded from Seattle? Don't make that trade. Don't. And I worry that's a little Giannis. The Denver Broncos were so desperate for a quarterback post Peyton Manning that they thought Russ was, and they gave up everything for Russ. Now, they got lucky that Russ sucked real bad, and they got out of, draft or cap hell, salary cap hell, and they landed on Bo Nix. And they built that defense, and they brought in Sean Payton, and that turned around. But I don't know if you're going to get that lucky again. And just to feel better because your ex makes you feel bad is not a good idea. Just buyer beware. That's it. Part of me, look, I'm not anti-Blazer fan. I don't like going at Blazer fans. That's not my style. That's not the kind of person I am. Part of me wants to see it. I mean, I'm down, dude. I would go and watch Giannis in a Blazer jersey, without a doubt. I don't think it's going to bring you a title. And if Tom Dundon is a lot of F your feelings right now, and if that's what it's going to take for you to kind of understand F your feelings, then you might need to crash and burn. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be a bad team again. This season has been so exhausting. So exhausting. Whether it's injuries, is Denny a 1, a 2, or a 3? Are we moving Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday, the Shaden Sharp conversation, Scoot Henderson, Chauncey, Tiago, all of it has been so exhausting this year that I'm ready to move on.
I am looking at the list. Would you be pissed off with Brandon Ingram?
No.
Would you hate Zach LaVine?
And out.
Would you hate Jalen Green?
No, I'd like Jalen Green.
Donovan Mitchell?
Spider would be awesome.
Julius Randle?
Pass.
Jordan Poole?
Pass.
Tyler Hero?
Pass.
DeJounte Murray?
Pass.
Andrew Wiggins?
Pass.
Miles Bridges?
I like Miles.
That's about where I'd draw the line.
Yeah, but what's the cost? What's the cost?
It's less than $40 million. I'd
rather do everything. You know what big swing I'd rather do? Get in the top 3 of the draft. Take that big swing. When we come back, let's slide over to the NFL. Some news and notes out of the league as guys have shown up to camp, and one guy wants out. 105.1 The Fan.
The new home.
(503-864-6326) is the fan text line. We'll pivot here and we'll keep this convo going for a minute. I do want to read some of this. Dame doesn't need to be Dame of old to help the team next year. Agree about not necessarily getting Giannis. I don't think he puts them over at what he'd cost, but I don't know what they can do to put them into the next level outside of a lucky pick. I 100% agree with that. That's the tough situation, and that's what Dundon's going to be evaluating Joe Cronin for, is can he get creative? Because if Giannis isn't the answer, what is the answer? You read those lists, this texter, none of those names really move the needle that much. They don't. I'm getting killed right now for saying Miles Bridges over Julius Randle. I don't want either, if I'm being honest. I'd rather have Jeremy Grant if he's healthy. And that doesn't seem to be the solution either. I love this too. I would love to see Dame as a spot-up shooter. I think that's going to be his role. Because Drew will still be here next year, in theory, and if Scoot is still here and the point guard of the future, in theory, then Dame becomes my spot-up shooter. And if he wants to sit in the corner and shoot threes all day and make it rain and shoot 40%, sign me up. Because this team right now would die for somebody that could shoot that way.
I just hope that, again, I watched the All the Smoke podcast yesterday where all of the old Blazers, Bonzi Wells, Damon Stoudemire, and Rasheed Wallace talked about what happened after they lost that, was it 16-point lead? 12-point lead?
Something like that, yeah, the Game 7.
Against the Lakers. Mm-hmm. Then they traded away Jermaine O'Neal. They traded away this guy for that guy, this guy for that. I think of Scoot Henderson and Jermaine O'Neal as the same exact situation. You are going to have a young player that if you trade away, another team is going to get a lot of benefit from him.
And I kind of live in some of that world too, and Danny gives me grief about it as the mystery box. But it's like, has Scoot played enough for me to know what that mystery box is? Has Shaedon the last couple of years been fully healthy for me to know? No. I want, and maybe this is the romantic in me, maybe this is delirious of me to think this way, but I like the concept of seeing how your players turn out. Like, what your investment turns into. Look, Zach Collins didn't work. We knew that. I don't think Scoot's the guy, but I'm still open to run it another year. Now, if he's part of a deal that brings something truly transformative to the team, I'm down to trade anybody in that aspect. You know, the only person on this team right now that is untradeable, in my opinion, is Donovan Clingan. Everybody else can be had at the right price. Damian Lillard's not going anywhere, so I didn't count him. But if moving Denny Avdia, Jeremy Grant, Shaedon Sharpe, you pick your poison here. Moving any of those guys gets this team into a better spot, I'm all for.
Jermaine O'Neal was traded for who?
I have no idea.
Dale Davis.
Oh, I love Dale Davis, but I'm a Pacer.
But who would you rather have after you've seen their career? I'm going to take Jermaine O'Neal.
What do I need?
I'm going to take Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, probably Jermaine O'Neal, but if I needed a defensive big boy down low, Dale Davis is pretty damn good.
But you have Donovan Clingan.
It is true. He's the only guy I wouldn't touch. He's a bona fide center in this league, and he's going to play in this league for a long time, barring any injuries.
Again, we've just seen the Trailblazers be the organization that continues to make the same mistake over and over again. It's got to stop at some point.
It's got to.
Don't do it now with Scoot.
I would, and again, Danny always gives me such grief for this because I want to know what my investment is. I want to know what my ROI is. You know, I'm watching Cleveland Guardians play right now. It's 4-0 over KC. Travis Bazzana. I don't want him dealt. I want to see what he looks like. If he comes up and he struggles, if I'm an Orioles fan, Jackson Holiday, I'm holding on to him. Even Adley Rutschman, I'm holding on to him. Because to your point, I don't want to give up and send him somewhere and him explode. And I think there's still more meat on the bone to see if those guys are going to explode or not. How are we? We feeling good? Is that better?
I'm feeling good now.
I feel like I got a lot off my chest there.
I feel like I needed to say what I needed to say.
Good.
All the smoke guys just ripped my city apart last night, so
I know. That's tough.
Tough one.
Tough. I feel for those dudes, though. I get it.
I get it, too.
I get it. It'd be rough. Let's get into the NFL. A little bit of news and tidbits coming out of Ravens camp and coming out of the old Gigantes. We'll get to that. Loaded second hour. Don't go anywhere. I'm Patrick. That's my boy Casey. 105.1 The Fan.
America's from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Pittsburgh Pirates are locking up their top prospect as Connor Griffin has agreed to a 9-year, $140 million extension. Griffin, the 19-year-old, made his debut less than 1 week ago as he will now sign the largest contract in Pirates history. Some more baseball news for you as Atlanta Braves pitcher Ronaldo Lopez and Angels designated hitter Jorge Soler were both ejected from the Braves 7-2 win on Tuesday night following a fight that cleared both benches and bullpens. Soler has received a 6-game suspension for rushing the mound, while Lopez will receive a 3-game suspension. Your Oregon Ducks are in a Northwest clash later on today on the Diamond as they will take on the Portland Pilots tonight at 5 p.m. at Joe Etzel Field. Pilots took down the Ducks in their last matchup as the Ducks look to redeem themselves in the series today. You can catch that game over on 9:10 a.m. when coverage begins at 4:45. Finally, your Portland Trailblazers are on the road taking on the San Antonio Spurs tonight at 6:30. Blazers will be without Vic Krejci, Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, and Shaedon Sharpe, while Spurs star duo Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle come into the game as doubtful. Blazers come into the contest as 3.5-point underdogs, currently holding the 9th seed in the Western Conference. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue.
Hour number 2 here, Fan Sports Network. If you're missing the first hour, you can download that, The Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. Got the YouTubes up and running over there, so we're still live in that charge. Rewind, fast forward, except for in the future, because that'd be impossible, my friends. A lot to get to this hour. We'll talk a little football. All right. Football's right around the corner, Casey. I heard you say, I think right before our show started, I think you said, and I quote, in 2 weeks we get to talk football every day. Why do we got to wait 2 weeks?
Well, because no one wants to hear my draft stuff now. It's too far away.
I don't know if that's true. I'm down to listen. And I work here. So we'll get to a lot this hour. Dusty Hare, the brand man, sideline reporter for the Oregon Ducks. He'll join us at 11:30 as spring practice starts to pick up down in Eugene. Kind of some new faces, some new ideas, and some old faces coming back, and what the idea looks like going into spring for the Oregon Ducks, plus Web Gems this hour as well. We will get to some baseball today. Don't worry. We'll get there. Everybody calm. We'll get there. But a couple little nuggets out of the NFL that I picked up over the last week that I've been trying to get to but been pushing off a little bit. Lamar Jackson attended practice. He's in camp, ready to go. Is it fair, Casey, for me to say this might be the most important season of Lamar's career?
Yeah, it's the biggest indictment on him this year.
I think so. They chose you.
They chose you.
Over Harbaugh. Now, Harbaugh may have outstayed his welcome. It could be a lot of other factors in there.
Column A, column B.
Little column A, column B, but they did choose you. It's kind of like Kobe, Shaq. Like, Kobe, they chose you. So go out and get some chips. And he did. Shaq did as well. But that kind of falls into that. So, Lamar, and it's weird because he's going to venture into some new kind of pressure. Because the pressure he's had have been win some playoff games. Obviously, the MVPs are stacking up. This is going to be more than just, can you beat Mahomes or Josh Allen? This is like, dude, I need you to go to the Super Bowl.
I need you to dominate your division.
And
he has yet to do that.
And I need you to give me a signature Lamar Jackson performance in the playoffs. If Lamar Jackson retired today, okay, he's a 2-time MVP, he's going to the Hall of Fame. What is his signature moment?
Losing in the playoffs.
Yeah. What's his signature great moment? Bingo. Exactly. And that's crazy to think because you can look around. Obviously, Mahomes has got the rings, Brady, Manning, etc. Drew Brees even. I've seen it from Josh Allen. I've seen the Superman cape from Josh Allen.
I will give the caveat because we could all be completely wrong about this if Mark Andrews catches an out route.
That's true. But he didn't. And somehow that's how the cookie crumbles. You know, Jim Kelly is probably thought of very different if Scott Norwood doesn't go wide right. So sometimes those things are out of your control, and that's not fair necessarily all the time, but reality is reality.
Them's the breaks.
Dude, Charles Barkley went to the Phoenix Suns, and that team was loaded. Guess who else was still loaded? Michael Jordan. Like, you had problems, and sometimes that's just how it is. Lamar has to deliver this year. Otherwise, I might be out. I'll come full circle. At the beginning of Lamar's career, I was kind of out on Lamar. Great athlete, didn't love his arm, didn't think he was consistent enough to be a quarterback in the NFL. Boy, was I wrong. All-time worst take in Patrick's life is that Lamar Jackson can't throw a football. All-time worst take. Lamar can. But now am I starting to get into a spot where I'm going to go backwards? I'm going to do the full turn and say Lamar can't win. And Lamar, you can't win with Lamar Jackson. That'd be a really crappy place to be. Because Lamar's great. I mean, he's so talented.
Again, Lamar is one of the most, if not the most talented quarterback that I think I've seen play the game of football. His ability to create space, extend plays, find receivers downfield, and he has a rocket of an arm.
Very much so. Very much so.
But what's the big thing against him? Turns the ball over in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. It's almost
quarterbacks that win and are successful in this league. Look at Sam Darnold. How many times did Sam Darnold turn the ball over in the playoffs this year?
None.
0. What does he have that Lamar doesn't?
A chip.
A chip. Big thing. So if you want to be the star, if you want to be the guy, all right, take over. Don't lose the ball when you most need to.
It reminds me a little James Harden-y.
It feels that way a lot.
Like, you're very, very good, and when the lights come on in the playoffs, you're, like, out of gas. And Harden is out of gas. I don't know if Lamar is out of gas, but something's not clicking. Is the game speeding up too fast? Is he slowing down too much?
And again, football
is he nervous, scared? I don't know.
Football is very much the sport where you have to rely on the other 53 or the other 52 guys around you versus, the 4 on the court at the same time, but it does feel like James Harden.
The other thing going on in the NFL I'm very curious about is the situation in New York with the Giants as Dexter Lawrence wants out. I did not see that coming. I didn't have it on my bingo sheet. Now, I'm sure it all has stuff to do with money, but unless he just really doesn't like Harbaugh, that defense is shaping up to be something kind of nasty in the next few years.
Very dangerous.
If they go out and use their pick on a Sonny Styles or a Caleb Downs or whoever, I think they're drafting defense from a lot of the mock drafts I've seen. If you're going to keep reinforcing that defense, why does Lawrence want out? That could be something cool.
Because he knows that his paycheck is probably going to dwindle.
I think I saw he's the 10th highest paid defensive lineman in the NFL.
And that's ridiculous.
It's $20 a year.
Top 10 for Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, he
should be top 5.
And then maybe that's his argument.
And that's a fair argument because now you're bringing in a brand new coach where now he has to reevaluate me at a different level. And I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. What is this brand new guy who hasn't really seen me play, is not in the same division. Now he has to evaluate me different? You guys know what I'm worth. Mm-hmm. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, the Harbaugh it's funny that these are both of these stories are Harbaugh related. That maybe what we're seeing in New York could be the true indictment of John Harbaugh. That maybe Harbaugh's really good with the media and good on camera and can keep a clean, straight face going, but maybe he tires. Maybe he wears on people. And obviously, Baltimore chose their quarterback. I think in most situations, teams are going to choose their quarterback over their coach. I think it's just too valuable in the NFL to even think about not doing it. But maybe it makes it easier if you're kind of like, I'm kind of done with John. And maybe the Giants are going to learn why that is. Now, I still think you can win and be a red ass in New York because Tom Coughlin was no, sunshine and rainbows over there. Like that is a hard ass coach. And he won 2 titles there. So it can be done. And New York is a tough place. Most of those fans, they don't care if you're winning. I think that's the biggest problem like with Aaron Boone in that town is he's not winning. They went to a World Series and they 5th inning of Game 5 was an absolute disaster, and that all goes on Boone. I hate Boone because I think he's a terrible manager. If he wins World Series, nobody cares. Is Joe Torre a great manager? I think so, but I don't know. His teams were loaded.
Yes, because he won.
Yes, because he won. I didn't like Dave Roberts for the longest time because I didn't think he was a good manager. I didn't think he managed bullpens well. And then I think it was his second title, so not last year, the year before, and he managed that bullpen brilliantly. And I went, oh, okay, there it is. There it is.
Winning allows you not to sweat the little stuff.
Totally.
Winning makes everything in the room a little bit calmer. Mm-hmm. And I think when you're losing a lot and when you're in a scenario where, again, Dexter Lawrence, you've been losing for your entire career.
Now do you just want money since you're going to lose?
If I'm going to lose either trying to make a statement, make my bag, or I'm just going to get out.
Yeah, you can lose to the bank. You can lose all the way to the bank because you can just go, hee. At least I got paid.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Or you can Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, and say, you know what, I'm out. I don't want to do this. Andrew Luck, I don't want to do this anymore. When we come back, let's jump into college football as the reigning national champions, the Indiana Hoosiers, their head coach, the Cignetti way, my friends. Buckle up, get on board, or get out. Plus, we'll have the brand man, sideline reporter Dusty Hare for the Oregon Ducks on at 11:30 plus Web Gems. Keep with us, 105.1 The Fan. We'll get the brand man in here and chat a little Oregon Duck football as spring practice is underway. We'll have Tyson Alger on the program tomorrow as well. Talk a little Timbers and get his views and thoughts on the upcoming Oregon season. Practice more specifically, recruits coming in, etc. I'm curious if there's like a new mantra. Like Lanning's always got good lines. He's always got good lines that I want to know, what's the one for this year?
What an opportunity.
Exactly, dude. Just like that.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
Yeah, dude. I want to know. What are we doing this year, bud? Is it dim sum? Is that what we're doing this year? Because that'll get you
nuts.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's sitting right next to me. Danny's out covering Hoop Summit. He'll be back tomorrow. He's out Friday as well, but he'll be back tomorrow. And hopefully we can chat a little Hoop Summit as well. But getting into college football as it's starting to ramp up, we're seeing spring practices, as I just said, and also some scrimmages and spring games will be coming soon all across America to a theater near you. There's a couple stories that I've been kind of following. We talked a little bit earlier, Casey, about Lamar Jackson and kind of the pressures on him and what his season is going to look like with a lot of question marks and a lot of expectations coming this year. I find, for different reasons and a different spot, Curt Cignetti has to be in this spot too, because he's in a little bit of playing with fire in the sense that if they are just like cheeks this year and are never good again, then it's like, oh, you remember that cute little story that was one-off? If they come out and they're really good, Curt Cignetti has a chance to like really stamp his name in the history of college football. If they don't got to win a natty, but if they go to another playoff,
if they make a run,
if they're in the Big Ten title game and say they lose to an Oregon or an Ohio State or somebody like that, then that program's here because they're going to lose the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. They're going to lose basically their entire receiving core, and he's been able to replace that. Now, with that pressure comes how do you handle some stuff? And there's been two situations that Cignetti has kind of stamped, this is how we do things at Indiana, and this is how I'm going to do things at Indiana. They had incoming transfer Nick Marsh, who came from Michigan State, over. He showed up to practice. This is a while ago. He showed up to practice in gold shoes, and Curt Cignetti said, quote, I didn't love those gold shoes he came out in today. He learned about what getting your ass ripped is all about. I don't know if that happened to him very often at Michigan State. That was before practice started. Side shade at Jonathan Smith there, real tough. But that's a standard. That's like, we are professionals. We are a team. You are not you. I do not want to hear about your gold shoes. I don't want to hear about your girlfriends. It's the old Mike Leach, your fat little girlfriend eating a fish sandwich and drinking lemonade under the tree. I don't want to know that stuff. You're here to play football, and I want you to come here and play football. There was no nonsense attitude from that. And that's got to be a tough moment for Nick Marsh. You're walking in. You're this flashy transfer. I'm the guy. I'm going to get the ball. You're Bill Bellamy in Any Given Sunday. I am the greatest. As he's looking in the mirror, doing that stuff, and Cignetti says, yo, sit your ass down. And practice hasn't even started yet.
if you're not bought into the team culture, ship out.
And then Cignetti will flip that on its head as well. That I don't know if you saw the comments that Sonny Dykes made about Josh Hoover, the quarterback at TCU who just transferred to Indiana. It's presumptively the starting quarterback for Indiana next year. Dykes took a shot at him. He said, look, numbers are numbers, stats are stats. I think Josh started 31 games here as a quarterback, and he turned the ball over. He says, and we turned the ball over 40. He turned the ball over 42 times in those 31 starts. Sonny Dykes coming for numbers. And you look at Gordy, talking about Gordon Samus, who's their new offensive coordinator, last year at Connecticut, and their quarterback turned it over twice. Now, Sonny, I don't know if you should be comparing the offensive juggernaut that is UConn football to Josh Hoover. But his stats, he's 33 picks at TCU, passed for over 9,500 yards, 71 touchdowns, 65% completion percentage. Now he lost 14 fumbles. That's something you got to clean up. But Cignetti believes, he was one of the better quarterbacks on the transfer portal. He wasn't getting Sorsby. I think he was looking for a little more Fernando-esque, somebody who's going to, handle the ball well and not turn it over a ton. Now that's where Sonny Dykes steps in and says, well, wait. Josh Hoover turned it over a ton of time. This is what Sig said. We've got to clean up some of the turnovers, obviously, which Coach Dykes made light of. But when Josh got here, he met his two new best friends. Great defense and a really good run game, and he was never the same after that. That's your guy.
Spacing helps when you load up that box.
That's your guy. I like that Cignetti. And I'll bet you a lot of that is because Josh Hoover walked in and said, Coach, what do you want? What do you want from me? Anything you want. I just saw your last quarterback won a Natty and a Heisman Trophy. I want to be that guy.
And he's about to go number 1 overall.
Yep. What do you want from me? I will do whatever you want. You want to run the ball? We'll run the ball. You want me to not turn the ball over? I won't turn the ball over. And if you do that, looks like Cignetti's going to have your back because that's what he does right here.
Again, all I have to do is do what Coach says, and I'm going to end up like this guy.
And I
There was something in the air that night.
Boom.
The stars
Boom.
were bright.
Trying to be Fernando Mendoza ain't a bad place to be. Ain't a bad place to be.
Not bad.
I didn't know this, that Josh Hoover committed to Indiana as a high school recruit in 2021, but then he went to TCU. That was around the time, remember, TCU had that big run. Sonny Dykes is getting a contract extension at TCU, too.
That was the Max Duggan years.
Max Duggan. Yeah. They went to a Natty and got blown out.
Probably one of the worst natties to watch.
And that was when I think Michigan got caught cheating. So then they had to change.
Connor Stallions.
They had to change everything, and TCU whooped that A. Oh, I'll never get tired of watching Michigan fail. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But I'm in on Sig. I think everybody is. It's hard not to like the guy. It's hard not to appreciate what he's done. I get kind of tired of the narrative of Indiana being an absolute nobody to something because we are now seeing he has proved that you can win anywhere.
And I know you're a duck honk, but I have a lot of respect for Cignetti. Cignetti went into Autzen and dominated for 4 quarters.
He went into Autzen. I think the big thing for me with Cignetti when it came to that game was the post-game interview on the field. They were like, you just won in Autzen. He was like, so?
Look what I do.
Yeah.
This is just what I do.
Yeah, he was surprised that people didn't think that they would win there. Now, on this program, I was surprised how the game turned out. I thought Oregon was going to win that game, but Danny took Indiana.
Pat McAfee was the only one on the game day board that took Indiana.
Interesting.
And that's just because his wife went to Indiana.
Hey, blind squirrel finds nut, Clock's right 2 times a day. It's easy peasy.
Dim some of these nuts.
My Cleveland Guardians are winning 4-1 right now. Let's get to those Oregon Ducks, though, all right? Yeah, Dusty Harrell will join us, sideline reporter, my boss, everybody's favorite Dusty. He'll join us, and we'll talk a little Oregon Ducks spring practices underway. They should have, I assume that comes with all the glory of all the new guys coming in, transfers, and on the return of the defense. We'll have a fun conversation with him. We'll toss it to you, Casey, with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Pittsburgh Pirates are locking up their top prospect, as Connor Griffin has agreed to a 9-year, $140 million extension. Griffin, the 19-year-old, made his debut less than 1 week ago, as he will now sign the largest guaranteed contract in Pirates history. Some more baseball news for you, as the Atlanta Braves pitcher Ronaldo Lopez and Angels designated hitter Jorge Soler were both ejected from the Braves' 7-2 win on Tuesday night following a fight that cleared both benches and bullpens. Soler has received a 6-game suspension for rushing the mound, while Lopez has received a 3-game suspension. Your Oregon Ducks are in a Northwest clash later on today on the Diamond, as they will take on the Portland Pilots at 5 p.m. at Joe Etzel Field. Pilots took down the Ducks in their last matchup as the Ducks look to redeem themselves in the series. You can catch that game over on 9:10 a.m. when coverage begins at 4:45. And finally, your Portland Trailblazers are on the road taking on the San Antonio Spurs tonight at 6:30. Blazers will be without Vit Krejci, Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, and Shaedon Sharpe, while Spurs star duo Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle come into the game as doubtful. Blazers come into the contest as 3.5-point underdogs, currently holding the 9th seed in the Western Conference. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And
All right, we'll get over to Web Gems coming up next, everybody's favorite. But we'll hang out in college football for a little bit. We'll have Tyson Alger join the show tomorrow. We'll talk a little Timbers with him as I get to puppy dog him around Providence Park for Timbers games. But he's also our insider for the Ducks. But what better insider than to have the Oregon sideline reporter and my boss, your hero, Dusty Hara, in studio with me today.
I don't know if I'm anybody's hero. Is my mic even on? Does Casey even have my mic on?
Oh, hey. There we go.
Come on, lowercase.
Ooh, Joe Fisher taking the blame for that. You can't see Joe in there.
There's Joe. Joe.
Blame Joe Fisher.
I thought we were going to talk baseball, though.
Oh, we can if you want. Hey, dude, I got an hour and a half left of this show. You can do whatever you want,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
But let's get into this. I'm curious, Dusty. Like you've such a fun, unique experience that you sideline report for the Ducks. It's such a rad job, but then you obviously run the ship here. When as practices are ramping up, and you know this program, you've been around for a long time, especially just as a fan or growing up, and now in working with them. Is Lanning, if we rewind back to last year, how things kind of ended in that real hard crash and burn, a little shockingly, is that something that Lanning, is he the guy that's just going to say, we're done with that and we start afresh? Or is that like, hey, let's learn from this and go?
Oh, I think he's always learning. And I don't think there's anything that he ever forgets. I mean, we see that in the Ducks versus them that comes out after wins and stuff. Like, he is always trying to learn and trying to adapt and grow. And I don't think that that's any different from the way that the 2024 season ended against Ohio State to the way that the 2025 season ended against Indiana. I think that, and really 2023 as well, the double losses to Washington that season. It is always kind of growth and trying to figure out what went wrong, and that's how you do it. But make no mistake about it, once spring ball starts, you got to flush that, because if you're thinking about what happened before, you're affecting how you're preparing now. And so I think it's almost like yes to both of your questions in there, in that I think a lot of the development, a lot of the growth over the off season, as short as it may have been, was that, and then they'll go back to reevaluating that. But right now, it is in the moment, and these are the guys we have now. There's no point in looking back on what we did before. Grow from where this roster starts at the beginning of spring ball.
And I think as you get into spring ball and practices and such, and everyone's showing up to camp, you have your new recruits, your new transfers in. I think a lot of the offseason conversation is, where's Kenyon Sadiq going to go in the draft? Like, someone's going to get a steal with Dylan Thieneman, and there's no Bryce Betcher. Dante's coming back. But I think we miss a lot. And then the talk about the offensive line. 3 guys missing on the offensive line as well. I think we also forget there was that 2-week stretch when it was like, this guy on defense is back. This guy on defense is back. Whoa, this guy's back too. There's a little bit of kind of, and I don't mean this in a bad way, there's a little bit of run it back mentality, because that team was very, very good last year.
There's a lot of players that played significant snaps that are returning. And I think that when you have, 3/5 of your starting offensive line depart for the NFL draft,
always scary,
and graduate, you have guys like, Malik Benson and Kenyon Sadiq that are no longer with the program anymore. There is this, where do you go and who steps up there? As you kind of go back and you look at this roster, though, heading into spring ball, there's like 24-ish guys that played played significant snaps. And some of those guys on the offensive line over the course of last year. A lot of that has to do with, one, blowing a lot of teams out, and so guys that got significant run, but also guys that played their way into the rotation as the season went on. And they got more snaps, or they were hurt and then they got healthy, and you said, whoa, there they go. And then some guys that didn't even play at all last year and are coming back from those injuries, like an Evan Stewart, that I think you look at that receiver room especially and you go, whoa, this room's about to be loaded.
Well, how does that happen? Because I think one of the big narratives that we have, the reason that Alabama and Georgia aren't dominating like they used to is that you just can't stockpile that depth. That sounds like stockpile depth. How is Dan doing that when the Kirbys, who got like 2 of them things, 3 of them things, how do those guys, we're seeing Dabo go through it at Clemson. How has Dan found the special sauce?
Well, I think losing starters of the transfer portal happens, and guys who play significant snaps, it happens. And Oregon has done a really good job of retaining talent in the transfer portal, and guys aren't leaving that are significant players. Now, does it happen? Absolutely. It happens to every program, but in mass, it's not. And then you start recruiting and stacking depth behind the starters that you have. I think that's where you kind of get that, where you get that, all right, guys are coming back. And then, like you mentioned with the defensive guys that came back, the defensive line that all returned, from Mateo Uiagalelei to Bear Alexander, Amari Washington, and Tatum Tuioti. When those 4 guys come back, that's just kind of like dumb luck and using your resources properly, using your NIL resources that you have properly. That I think plays a big role into it. And they've done a really good job. And I think a lot of people roll their eyes and they, when you hear it repetitively and you hear it over and over again, but connection and culture really do matter. It really does matter because everybody has NIL money. The top teams across college football, they all have money. They do. We look across it and we say, how are these programs like Indiana coming out of nowhere? Well, they've got, a damn good coach, but they have resources there that people didn't realize until NIL started.
I think Indiana spent almost as much as Penn State did last year, not counting, obviously, Franklin's buyout, but I think it was something like football operations were like $4 million apart in what they spent.
There is, in that, when you are recruiting guys and you're bringing guys in to your program, as Coach Lanning likes to say. When you bring those guys in, you establish the baseline of expectations, which is you're not coming here to be guaranteed a spot. We are going to do everything we can to help grow you, get you to that next level. But it is the culture, it matters. But also the results matter too. Because a lot of these guys, team success, and we've seen, you go to Fiesta Bowl year 1, then you go Rose Bowl, and then you go to the college football playoff semifinal last year for Lanning, right? There has been this step in results as team success, but look at the draft picks too. Talent is being developed and grown there, and that's with the guys that they've recruited, guys that they inherited, but also the transfer portal guys that have come in too. And those things matter. Like, all of those things matter. And that's not to say that, Kirby Smart doesn't do that, because obviously he does. But you put all of it together, they've had a lot of retention, and that it speaks a lot to the health of the program itself.
Jordan texting this in 503-864-6326. It's interesting to me the amount of fans that still act like Oregon hasn't lost a ton to the draft before and just come back as strong or stronger than before. And that's a fair point, and I think there is something about that culture that Dan creates. As practices are getting going and guys are coming in, and
they've been recruiting really good players too.
That also helps. And they've been right a lot. There's a little bit of luck involved. Yeah. Like, guys have popped when they need to. And we were talking before the show today, kind of like in the USC situation. They might have the number 1 recruiting class, but I'm not looking at that stuff because I don't even know if those guys are going to be there next year. Mm-hmm. And so are you getting guys? Yes, but are you getting guys that pop? And I think Oregon's been very fortunate of that. As spring is going and practices are starting and all that kind of stuff, what kind of like identity, theme, kind of culture situation can we expect this year from the team?
Yeah, I think any program across the country, you look at 3 things in spring ball: your returners, you look at your newcomers, and then the guys that you are hoping to pop, right? And take that next step forward. And how those 3 groups kind of move together throughout the course. Like, there's no doubt about it, there's big change at Oregon. You not just with guys leaving for the draft, but you're replacing both of your coordinators, with Tosh Lupoi going down and taking the Cal head coaching job. Will Stein goes out to Kentucky. And so, those are the things that I think fans should be excited to see, is what changes and how drastic are they? And, something tells me that when you return as many guys and you recruit to a system and an identity, it's not going to change dramatically. There hasn't been a need to change dramatically with what you do and how you scheme your base. It is that's going to be the interesting part to me, because you have Chris Hampton as a defensive coordinator now, who is one of the brightest minds in college football. Like you look at his path to get to Oregon as a defensive coordinator at Tulane. Before, he was co-D coordinator with Lupoy. Now he steps in and slides into that role. And then you have, on Drew Maringer on the offensive side, kind of always being that guy in Will Stein's ear, and as a tight end, being the extension of an offensive line, but also an extension of the receiver room as well. I don't think you're going to see any wholesale changes, but there will be tweaks, and that's going to be the interesting part to it, right? Is it going to be more downhill running, or are you going to continue to be a perimeter screen game-oriented team that runs the ball really effectively? I think people forget how effectively Oregon ran the football with Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, and then last year with Dante Moore. They are a run-first team, and that's kind of always been their identity. And, how that fits to the pieces that you have on the chessboard, because 3/5 of your starting offensive line changing, that's going to be different, right? Like sometimes you have a skill set that you have to coach to, and the best coaching staffs will not throw the playbook out, throw our identity out, but they will tailor that offense to exactly what the talent has. And just looking at, whether it's the guys they brought in via the portal or the guys that are returning this year, there's a lot of speed on this roster. There is a ton of speed across the board offensively that I'm excited to see how they use them, right? With the return of Evan Stewart, who is you talk about a 4-4, sub 4-4 guy. Evan Stewart coming back from a knee injury, in what he looks like, that's going to be fascinating to see. You've got Iverson Hooks, the transfer from UAB, where, if you pop on his film, you just watch it and you go, little jitterbug out there, man. He can move out on the football field. DeCorian Moore returns. Those are 3 burners right there. And then, you replace Kenyon Sadiq with a guy that I don't know what to make of it, but because all the draft prognosticators, they get it wrong for this year's draft, but they're saying could be tight end number 1, Jamari Johnson. You have Andrew Olish, the former 5-star tight end from Penn State who transferred in. Keandre Harrison, another big body tight end who is a high-profile recruit that comes in as a true freshman. Like, there are a lot of guys on this roster that you sit there and you look at and you go, boy, they're going to be able to move the ball and play well in space. And I haven't even mentioned the 2 running backs that come back for their sophomore season in De'Aaron Hill and Jordan Davison. Those 2 guys shined as true freshmen last year in a backfield that they shared with Noah Whittington.
You're also returning a more experienced quarterback in college football than Dante Moore right now. Look, Sorsby, I think, is going to be great at Tech, but he's first year at Tech.
Yep.
Hoover, we just talked about Hoover at Indiana. I think he'll have a nice year for Signetti, but that's his first year there. Yep. Julian Sayin is really young.
Arch and Sayin, both really their first time full-time starters last year.
And saw a lot of learning curves for them.
And I think that with Dante Moore, he has the benefit of, starting a handful of games at UCLA, sitting a whole year, and then coming in and starting all of last season. He's played a lot of football, man.
Mm-hmm. Oregon should be in good shape. I'll get you out of here on this, chocolate or vanilla.
Chocolate.
And you're done. Sorry, not fast enough.
Yeah.
Gotta be quicker. Gotta be quicker.
That going viral yesterday, that got me, man. Because I saw where he was going with it, right?
I do too. I completely understand.
If we're giving the recruiting pitch, you and I are just sitting there, we're chopping it up, we're going through all the normal stuff, and then I'm like, hey, let's go some rapid fire here. And I give you chocolate or vanilla, pepperoni or cheese, Ford or Chevy, whatever it is, and you're not decisive on any of them, you're like, okay. He gave the one. And
out of nowhere.
It's not like I call you up and I'm like, hey, Patrick Harris, defensive back from Spokane, Washington, chocolate or vanilla? Well, I'm done. And then I hang up.
I don't know if I want to go to that crazy place. Who are those people over there? I'm going to Wazoo instead.
You're going, yeah, that's
I'm
right.
going to the Cougs instead, baby.
That's right. I'm going to spin it.
Believe in Kirby Moore.
Where the only question is Busch Light or Fireball.
Dan Lanning.
Where it's just beer or beer.
Dan
That's right.
Lanning, never heard of the guy. Never heard of the guy. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate you, man.
Have a great season this year, and I am very jealous that I think you got one of the coolest jobs in the world, being a sideline reporter for radio. It's pretty rad.
It is pretty rad.
It's a cool gig.
It is. There's a lot of pinch me moments when you're sitting there looking around. You're like, whoa,
Penn State at night in a whiteout.
Yeah, Penn State in a whiteout, being in the big house, being there for the very last Pac-12 as we knew it football game. It's pretty rad, dude.
When we come back, Web Gems, everybody's favorite. I told you this is gonna be a disaster. 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
Everybody's favorite Web Gems. We do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, we'll talk some baseball. I just got some questions for a couple teams. Look, things are early. Dusty and I were rapping before, like Cal Raleigh. Like, if you're worried about Cal, you should be worried about Cal. But it's also early, and things will be fine. There's a couple situations that I've got my eyes on. Plus, our new celebrity couple scandal in the NFL. Don't play with your food, man. Don't play with your food. So a lot to get to in the Big Nooner. But as we've been creeping closer and closer to the World Cup, I'm kind of keeping my eyes on some stories. And look, the world right now is a really crazy place, especially politically, with El Presidente of this country at the helm doing some wild stuff. So I've been very fascinated in seeing the infrastructure of the World Cup. And that's kind of where a lot of my political kind of observations are living right now, because the World Cup is a huge thing that attracts people from all over the world and is an awesome economy booster. And we get to hold it for the first time in America since 1994. I'm going to try my hardest to see if I'm not priced out, which I probably will be, for the USA-Australia game in Seattle come June. But this story comes to you by way of New York, and it's Penn Station, the busiest, biggest hub in North America, will be closed for 4 hours before the start of 8 World Cup matches in June and July. The only people that can use it are if you have bona fide World Cup ticket holder. So you are going to shut down the biggest train station in North America for 4 hours on game day. Now, what time do sporting events usually start?
About 5 p.m.
About 5:30? Great idea. There are now conversations being held that hotels are saying we are not seeing the boom we were told. We are not seeing the influx of people coming to this country or booking hotels to stay. Also, some cities are not getting the money they were promised from the government, from infrastructure. I love soccer. I'm about to turn on Champions League right now because Liverpool's playing PSG today. I love the sport, do all the work for the Timbers. I'm so terrified that America is going to screw this thing over and it will be the worst World Cup ever. I think you're going to see empty stadiums because people can't afford these tickets. Meanwhile, I'm going to go look and see the Canadian stadiums and the Mexico stadiums sold out. We live in a country right now where I don't think a lot of people not from this country want to come visit this country. I have friends that I see concerts with that live in Winnipeg that are like, we're good. We don't go to the States. And you're trying to hold a world global event, dude. I'm just so terrified. I'm so terrified. I'm going to watch the games on TV. Probably can't afford to get in. And it's going to be an absolute brutal situation.
Yeah, that's accessibility is what makes sports fun. If you make it accessible to only a small percentage of people in the world, what does that drive?
I know.
It doesn't really drive anything other than, sweet, you had a fun experience for you and your tight-knit group of friends that are all one percenters.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't move the needle.
Dynamic pricing, man. It's a lot of seats at Lumen Field that might be empty for a USA game. USA and USA. What is Iran and Egypt? I believe Iran and Egypt are playing in Seattle. What is that stadium going to look like? That's not going to be a pretty place. RIP the World Cup. I can't wait for it to be back in Europe because then I'm going to force myself to go on a trip to Europe to catch World Cup games. Dude, can you imagine seeing like America play in Italy for the World Cup?
I mean,
that'd
that'd
be awesome.
Fantastic.
That'd be so cool. All right, let's get to the big nooner here. We got a lot to get to. I know we're really excited about this. We'll talk some baseball. More specifically, I want to talk about the San Francisco Giants and their manager, Tony Vitello, and also what in tarnation. I know it breaks Casey's heart. It definitely breaks Boss Man Cooley's heart. What is going on in Beantown? The Boston Red Sox as well, plus celebrity couples. A lot more to get to. Final hour, 105.1 The Fan.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Pittsburgh Pirates are locking up their top prospect as Connor Griffin has agreed to a 9-year, $140 million extension. Griffin, the 19-year-old, made his debut less than 1 week ago, as he will now sign the largest guaranteed contract in Pirates history. Some more baseball news for you, as Atlanta Braves pitcher Ronaldo Lopez and Angels designated hitter Jorge Soler were both ejected from the Braves 7-2 win on Tuesday night following a fight that cleared both benches and bullpens. Soler has received a 6-game suspension for rushing the mound, while Lopez will receive a 3-game suspension. Your Oregon Ducks are in a Northwest clash later on today on the diamond, as they will take on the Portland Pilots tonight at 5 p.m. at Joe Etzel Field. Pilots took down the Ducks in their last matchup, as the Ducks look to redeem themselves in the series. You can catch that game over on 9:10 a.m. as coverage begins at 4:45. Finally, your Portland Trailblazers are on the road taking on the San Antonio Spurs tonight at 6:30. Blazers will be without Vit Krejci, Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, and Shaedon Sharpe, while Spurs star duo Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle come into the contest as doubtful. Blazers come into the game as 3.5-point underdogs, currently holding the 9th seed in the Western Conference. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday.
Two down, one to go here. The firm of Harris and Meringue. We do this bad boy every single Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Happy to be here. Stoked to be a part of your life. Thanks for being a part of ours. Danny's out for today. He'll be back tomorrow. He's over at Hoop Summit today. He'll be out on Friday as well. So a short week with Danny this week. Tuesday and Thursday. He had to golf. He was sick on Monday. I'm just giving him grief. So he'll be back tomorrow, so we'll have a little conversations from that. Blazers play tonight. A lot to get to this hour. After us, we'll turn it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2. And it's the Fan Happy Hour with Joe Fisher III sitting in for Luke Anderson, who's on spring break. And then it's prime time. Isaac and Suk, 3 to 7. Finishing up 13 hours of live, local, continuous regional sports talk radio right here on the Fan Sports Network. Let's talk some baseball. Case, you ready?
Let's do it.
That's why it's you and me, baby. You and me forever, all right? Don't ever leave me, Casey. I need you in my life.
I ain't going nowhere. Don't worry.
All right. What do you have real quick before we get into this Giants situation? Yankees excluded. Do you have any hot thoughts in baseball, or are you let it slow cook?
I'm a slow cooker. It's a long season. September and October, that's where the real baseball is played, in my opinion. But you can start to see a lot of little glimpses of what's probably to behold later on in the season.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I like to kind of hang around, and I think it's funny. The things I notice early in baseball are kind of like they're negatives, but there's different kinds of negatives. Like, is Cal Raleigh starting crappy? Oh, yeah. Am I worried? No, I'm not. Are the San Francisco Giants crappy? Yes. Am I worried about that? Yes, I am. So there is some of that. Like, Toronto's had a slow start. Not too worried about that. I try not to get into my own tea either. Like, Chase DeLauder is Himothy right now. But I don't. I'm still kind of like, well, we'll see. He's played
tiptoe around that one.
Played 10 games.
Don't want to throw the jinx out.
Let's chill out for a second. So I'm kind of like that. But that's where I want to start. I want to start in San Francisco. Tony Vitello is their new manager there. He was the longtime manager. I don't know how long, but he was at Tennessee, the Volunteers. He coached college baseball. And he's like the first guy to manage Major League Baseball game without ever serving in Major League Baseball. He's been a college coach for a long time, Buster Posey and crowd did a lot of research, did a lot of kind of vetting. They were very interested in this guy.
Very well respected. He's
Yes.
a great coach. I have a few buddies that I know went to Tennessee. Shout out my buddy AJ Russell.
All right.
Very loved.
Okay, cool. And I think baseball is kind of baseball, like everywhere. I have no concerns about a manager coming from college to the pros and worrying about if he knows baseball. I'm just not. Yes, there's probably more developmental that goes on in college. There's a lot more trial by fire to where in a major league lineup you kind of know who starts every game.
But you're not scrutinizing the X's and O's like in other sports.
Correct. Playing college and playing NFL are very different. And that I might scrutinize. College basketball to NBA, or if you're Mike Malone going backwards, is a really weird spot. However, things are not going well in San Francisco. I don't know, did you see the other day when Matt Chapman, who is known as a red ass, threw a ball to what's his name, Schmidt at first, and he didn't catch the ball, and there was a mound visit right after that. Matt Chapman looks him in his face, looks him dead in the eye and says, "Catch the bleeping ball." And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "Catch the bleeping ball." And kind of just gives him this dirty look and looks away. That's where I start to get a little bit concerned, is do we have clubhouse issues? Logan Webb has not started well. The pitching staff is not very good. Nobody is hitting. They're in trouble. They're in the last place in that division, and that is not a division you can afford to be in last place.
And do manager decisions about lineup, because that's essentially what managers do in the MLB. They just make the everyday lineup card. Is that decision starting to worsen the issue in the locker room? Or flip side of it, is it just putting guys on blast right now so that I can make my resume look better down the line?
Yeah, and I also think I'm also really curious what Buster and the group in San Francisco are going for. Their best offseason acquisition was Harrison Bader, I guess. Now, I think Jung-Hoo Lee will have a better year this year than he did last year. I've been really high on the Korean. He got hurt last year. I think he had a back issue, so he didn't play a ton. I think Matt Chapman is a hell of a baseball player. Right now, they only have 3 guys with more than 10 hits on the season in 12 games played. It's Luis Arraez, Matt Chapman, and Willy Adames. Willy Adames costs a lot of money. Rafi Devers is right there at 9, also costs a lot of money. But they've got one guy. They've got 2 guys that play every day. I guess we'll count Casey Schmidt. They got 3 guys batting over 275.
And are they getting what they want out of the Rafi Devers trade? Or acquisition, I should say.
I don't know. I think I was doing the hot corner at the time with Joe Fisher when Rafi Devers was traded, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it from both sides. I didn't think it was a smart move for Boston to get rid of him, and I didn't know what San Francisco... I think San Francisco got really frustrated that they didn't land Carlos Correa and they didn't land Aaron Judge and they didn't land Shohei Ohtani, that they were like, damn it, we need somebody, and went and got Rafi Devers, who's extremely dysfunctional and does not seem to be a team player. Now, they spent a lot of money on Willy Adames, but was he great because he is great, or was he great because Craig Counsell, Pat Murphy, and the Brewers are really good at what they do up there?
Well, Adames was also good with the Rays when the Rays made their run.
That's true. That's fair. That's a fair point. He was really good for them.
So that's again, I don't like Willy Adames, but I can see where the likability factors are in there. He is a solid player, and you can't really hate him necessarily.
And I don't know what their plan is with their pitching staff. Look, Logan Webb is my guy. I like Logan Webb a lot. Robbie Ray is an every other year guy. So far, so good out of Robbie Ray. This looks to be an every other year. But if Logan Webb can't win games for you, you are going to be in big, big, big trouble. And again, this division, you cannot take days off. Arizona has reloaded. Okay, Arizona is a lot better this year than they were last year. They had a little bit of a World Series hangover slump there for a little bit. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. And the Padres, you look at the Padres got names on the back.
Still
I don't know.
One of the most dangerous teams in baseball.
Yeah, I don't know if they all play for the same name on the front, if you catch my drift. But they are very, very good on the back end. In San Francisco, you just can't afford to fade back away. And I don't want to bring this full circle. I don't want this to come back around on Tony Vitello, because I don't I don't think you can be 12 games into the season and tell me whether or not he's a good coach. And baseball it's a long, long time. You know, I always harken back to the 2019 Washington Nationals. They were one of the worst teams in baseball in May, and they won the whole thing.
And then Anthony Rendon walked away from the game.
And then Anthony Rendon, well, he shows up. Yeah. I need more of that guy out of my life. I just need him to go away. Anthony Rendon. So much money. That guy got so much money to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. That's the dream.
I bet you he can afford World Cup tickets.
I bet you he'll be there.
He'll probably be there. Ah, my knee. I was just getting a hot dog. Let's keep this conversation going. My other biggest concern, and this might be a larger concern because the fans are now chanting, let's head up to Beantown. Couldn't have happened to better people, huh? Couldn't happen to a better set of people. The Red Sox also, dare I say, in more dangerous territory than the San Francisco Giants. That's next. Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 The Fan.
Watch how you're talking and where you're walking.
You and your homies might be lined in chalk.
I really hate the trip, but I got
We'll get to the new power couple in the NFL. Can we call them a power couple? Are they a power couple? Sorry, power friendship.
Power friendship.
Power friendship.
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship. Care Bears. They're like the Care Bears, huh? We'll get to that here in a little bit. Having fun conversations here about baseball. Look, I'm stoked. I'm having a great time this season so far. The World Baseball Classic was such an awesome appetizer. It's kind of like Rory's Masters dinner. The apps are the steal of the show. The elk sliders.
Main course ain't too bad.
No, the Wagyu filet mignon ain't going to be bad. But the yellowfin carpaccio, like, get out of town, man. That is where I want to be, without a doubt. And the World Baseball Classic was that. Now we're into the nitty-gritty. I have watched I've watched multiple innings of every single Cleveland game except for one this year. And that's because I was at the client party here. Those dang buddies of ours. But it's hard not to notice some things. I was watching a Red Sox game the other day, and there's the camera panned to John Henry, the owner of Fenway Sports Group, FSG, who also owns the Boston Red Sox. Actually, just got a text from my buddy. He's at the game right now. And the fans are chanting something, and you can see old man John Henry kind of like leaning in, trying to see what they're saying, and then he goes, "Oh, sell the team." That's what they're chanting. And to see an owner's reaction of that in real time is a fascinating thing. Because, look, Fisher, for the A's, he's never at games. So we don't hear him. He doesn't walk into the bathroom and see an A's uniform player being hung by a noose when it says sell the team on it. John Henry's at games a lot. And if Fenway's starting to chant sell the team, you got some big issues. They gave up 4 runs the other day against Milwaukee. They gave up 4 runs in an inning without the ball ever leaving the infield. Error upon error upon error. They've had pitchers not back up home plate twice now. Okay? Roman Anthony all of a sudden can't throw a baseball. What on earth is going on over here? The Boston Red Sox have put a ton of money into this thing. Now, again, we were having that conversation about Rafi Devers and such, but they have done the full teardown to the extent where now we're relying on our kids. And they're going to try and rely on the Connor Wongs of the world, the Caleb Durbins of the world, Marcelo Myers. Who else am I missing? Roman Anthony, obviously, Jarren Duran. But where's what's his name? The kid that came up, Christian Campbell. They signed him to a fat deal, and he can't make the bigs now. So when you look at the Connor Griffin contracts of the world, the Cole Emerson in Seattle, when you're looking at these kids who get these contracts before they come up, that's the danger you're playing, because Christian Campbell got that, and he ain't on the roster right now. Meanwhile, Roman Anthony looks to be the dude. I think they always thought he was going to be the dude, but Roman Anthony's also going to bet on himself because he knows that he can play left field at Yankee Stadium and look real good in them pinstripes.
Look real nice. Look real nice.
I think there's some serious concern in Boston, and the fans are already unhappy with ownership. I can relate to them to an extent, as FSG owns my favorite football team in the Liverpool. Boston's the interesting one to me just because I think Alex Cora is a good manager. I really, really don't like him, but I think he's a really good manager.
I'm out.
But if I'm seeing all of these kind of defensive baseball 101 things not going on, that's a giant concern.
If you're not doing the fundamentals right at the major league level, that's a real problem.
And if your manager is not correcting those, that's another problem. And you have a team that should be able to compete and win. Garrett Crochet and Sonny Gray at the top of your rotation is really, really nice. Oh, and we spent all this money on Ranger Suarez. That's a really, really nice 1, 2, 3. Garrett Whitlock and Aroldis Chapman in the back end of that bullpen is a very nice bullpen. This team should be a lot better than it is. And I don't think the Red Sox will do it because they've clearly invested a ton in Alex Cora. Hell, they fired him and then brought him back. So they've put a lot of money and investment into Alex Cora, but the opposite of the Vitolo situation in San Francisco, that might just be a bad roster. This might be bad management.
Yep.
And I don't know where Boston's going to go from this.
And I love every second of it. Let them be the worst team in the league. Let them sell all of their best players and be in purgatory for the next few years.
As Yankee fans rejoice.
Let it rain down.
Let's take a little peek around baseball here. What's going on here? Oh, did you see the Cincinnati Reds? Of course you didn't. Nobody cares as much as I do. The Cincinnati Reds DFA'd Christian Encarnacion Strand. Today they DFA'd him. That guy was a top 100 prospect that just couldn't figure it out in Cincinnati. But they're leading the Central. They're tied with the Brewers. The Brew Crew looking nice. Chicago Cubs might need a quick look in the mirror here real soon. Sounds like Matt Boyd's going to go on the IL. Bregman's been buns. I know that because he's on my fantasy team. Damn it, I knew I shouldn't have done that. I hate Alex Bregman, and I shouldn't have put him on my team, and I did. That was stupid. Did Schlittler got touched up yesterday, didn't he?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I think they still walked away with the win.
He's still really good. He's still really, really, really good.
He's very good.
He's very good. I'm going to give you teams to be concerned about, and you tell me if you are concerned or not. These are teams not performing.
He had 3 earned runs, but still had 7 strikeouts.
He's good.
That's a great performance.
Are you concerned about any of these teams off to a slow start? The Toronto Blue Jays.
No.
The Boston Red Sox.
Not concerned. Concerned is not the right word. Happy that they suck is very much the right feeling.
I am concerned for them. I'm not concerned about Toronto. The Detroit Tigers sit at the basement of the American League Central.
Their pitching will bail them out. So I think they'll be fine.
Agreed. The Seattle Mariners. They're 4-8.
Start worrying.
Yeah?
I don't know what people aren't seeing. It's not great performances. Your pitching is okay. Those bats have to find a way to get alive. And they're not.
They do. And look, I can sit here and tell you that Julio Rodriguez is a slow starter all I want, but that doesn't change away from the fact that he's a slow starter, and I need you to not be. Yordan Alvarez for the Houston Astros is an absolute monster.
He's a monster.
Absolute monster.
He's a freak.
He is destroying left-handed pitching like no one else has ever done before. Also on my fantasy team.
That's a solid pick.
I really, well, he's my cornerstone dynasty. Let's see. The Philadelphia Phillies are 6-5. That division is just going to gobble itself alive.
Phillies will probably be fine, though.
I think they'll be fine as well. Although they keep running it back. They're going to have to figure something else out with that. The Chicago Cubs, they are 5-6. They need starting pitching. That's going to be their problem.
PCA is fun to watch.
He really is. He's
just electric.
I know. They locked him up, too. So that'll be nice. And then you've got the Los Angeles Dodgers just doing Dodger things. So, and don't worry. If you're concerned about the Dodgers being 9-2, those 2 losses, don't worry. I read today that Blake Snell is now throwing live pitches. Okay, great. Awesome. Let's get another Cy Young in that rotation. Colorado Rockies having a nice little start to the season.
That'll plummet.
They've already won more games than they did last year. I'm just joking. If they had only won 5 games last year, that'd be really bad.
That'd be real tough.
That'd be real bad. You can't be 156-5. Or the other way, 5 and 160.
5 and 157.
5 and 167. That'd be 157. That'd be a pretty bad team. Dare I say, all-time worst team. Yeah, man. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited for it right now. My Guardians are playing really well, which makes me excited. Picked to finish like 4th in the division. How the Twins have better odds to win that division than my team is unbelievable. I can't imagine how that would be possible. But here we are.
God, I love baseball.
It's nice. I just put it on and I just watch it now. Drive in the car, listen to it on the radio when of course I'm not listening to my favorite shows on the Fan Sports Network. That I definitely do. It's a long way to go though, man. We're sitting here, it's April 8th, talking about the Red Sox. They stink and blow it all up. Nah, they might not. They might turn around and be something nice. Let's get to the new power friendship, the Care Bears of the NFL world, and Mike Vrabel and Diane Rossini. Spicy. We'll go there next. There's Casey with sports.
Now, Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Pittsburgh Pirates are locking up their top prospect as Connor Griffin has agreed to a 9-year, $140 million extension. Griffin, the 19-year-old, made his debut less than 1 week ago as he will now sign the largest guaranteed contract in Pirates history. Some more baseball news for you as Atlanta Braves pitcher Ronaldo Lopez and Angels designated hitter Jorge Soler were both ejected from the Braves 7-2 win on Tuesday night following a fight that cleared both benches and bullpens. Soler has received a 6-game suspension for rushing the mound, while Lopez has received a 3-game suspension. Your Oregon Ducks are in the Northwest Clash later on today on the Diamond as they will take on the Portland Pilots tonight at 5 p.m. The Pilots took down the Ducks in their last matchup as the Ducks look to redeem themselves in the series. You can catch that game over on 9:10 a.m. when coverage begins at 4:45. And finally, your Portland Trailblazers are on the road taking on the San Antonio Spurs tonight at 6:30. Blazers will be without Vit Krejci, Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, and Shaedon Sharpe, while the Spurs star duo Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle come into this game as doubtful. Blazers come into the contest as 3.5-point underdogs, currently holding the 9th seed in the Western Conference. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson.
set my sights on Monday.
Closing arguments coming up next to send you on your way. But guess what? Pittsburgh's getting ready to welcome the nation to the unofficial beginning of football season, and the city's kickoff celebration will begin with an unforgettable, invite-only night of music. It's called The Night Before, and it takes place Wednesday, April 22nd at the Rivers Casino Event Center, featuring Jason Aldean, John Morgan, and Shane Prophet. Prize includes round-trip airfare, a 2-night hotel stay, 2 tickets to the show. You can visit odyssey.com/thenightbefore to enter now for your chance to win. Other details there as well. That is a good point somebody brought up. I think it was either the text line or the YouTube that it's like, yeah, dude, I got like 4 World Series titles in the last 20 years. I really hate my owner, especially after not having one for 80-something years. It is weird. I never understand Boston sports fans. I'll never get it. Like, you know, I know the Philly fans, they're all like crazy and stuff.
The Boston fans are the most spoiled fans of all.
And they act like the world's against them. Not to mention their deep, like, racial undertones.
Deep?
Deep.
Overtones.
Overtones, yeah. Overtones, yeah, that's a good point. You traded Mookie Betts, okay? You traded Mookie Betts.
You got what you deserved.
You got what you deserved, yeah, totally. Although, dude, I'm just happy to be in the playoffs. If my team won a World Series, I would lose my GD mind.
Same here.
Yeah, no, you live in that crazy world too. It's so funny. It's so funny meeting younger Yankee fans that are just like, yeah, dude, I really want to win one. I've never seen one. You're like, what? Crazy.
I've seen one.
Well, you've seen one. Yes, you've seen one. I've seen 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. I've seen 5 in my lifetime.
And the one day where Danny's not here, he's sitting there, oh, yeah, he's got a few of those.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny's got 2. Have I seen 2 Cardinals World Series?
Is it 2 or is it 3?
It might be 3.
I think it might be 3.
Might be 3. I've been to 3 in my lifetime. I've been to 3.
Oh, always a bridesmaid, never a bride over here.
I've been to 3. 2 of them I have lost in Game 7. How do you like them apples? 97 and 2016. I was at Game 1 and 2 of 2016.
What year were you born?
85.
You and Danny are the same age?
Danny is 84.
So, only 2 in his lifetime. 06 and 11.
Okay, that's what I thought. I couldn't, because there's one in
82.
There you go. There's one in the 80s. I couldn't remember what year it was. So that'll have that. Hey, how do we feel about the new power couple in the NFL? Huh? We feel pretty good about these guys.
Power of friendship.
I know that there's a lot of other people involved in this. More importantly, your significant others and probably children. I don't know if Rossini or Vrabel have kids, but they might. The amount of, what's the best way to put this? The amount of spin being put on what these pictures look like is pretty wild. So if you're not familiar, there is a nice resort that is touted as a very romantic getaway in Arizona, and there were some pictures taken of Mike Vrabel, the head coach of the New England Patriots, along with Diana Rossini, who is a well-respected reporter in the NFL circles. I did not know this because I don't know these people specifically, and I think it would be best to let reporters report and not worry about their personal lives and where they come from and stuff like that. But I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole in some rumors about Diana Rossini throughout her career. It's not pretty.
It's not pretty, and I didn't know this. She is still married.
I know. They're both are married and not to each other. There was pictures of them holding hands, dancing on a balcony, sitting poolside in swimsuits. Now Diana Rossini claims that she was there with her girls, and Vrabel was there to watch Arizona State Pro Day. A little fishy here to me.
Just wanted to go see some Jordan Tyson run routes.
There are a lot of, Jordan Tyson ain't falling to you, amigo. There are some pictures that are from far away that you can see there are no friends around them. This This resort is very much hyped up. The balcony they're hyped on is hyped as one of the that they were pictured on is hyped as one of the most romantic views in the whole place. Look, I get it, man. You want to get higgy with it? Like, you can get higgy with it, man. No one's gonna stop you from that.
Getting higgy with it.
But maybe not stepping it so much. Is this the power of becoming a coach that just got out of a Super Bowl? Is the ego getting to Vrabel a little bit here? Because Rossini, as much as I hate to say it, again, according to rumors that I read on the internet, which definitely mean they're true, this is not the first time. I've got 2 words for you: Sean McVay.
Is this also not the first time a New England Patriots head coach has been caught up in a relationship scandal post losing a Super Bowl?
I don't even think you need to be a coach to do this. Like, Tom's track record ain't super clean either. Old Robert Kraft's situation ain't super clean either.
I've seen a few ring cameras of old Billy B. Not sure.
I'm not sure. Is this a Patriot problem? Do we have lack of institutional control? Do we not know how to keep our pants up in Foxborough? Is that the situation here? Are we growers and showers because we win rings? Is that the situation?
Again, winning solves a lot of problems. Losing just magnifies them.
I know. Does losing create problems? It might. Last time I checked, Stephon Diggs is not in free and clear right now. Now, he's not a Patriot currently, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm very fortunate to be a very happily married man who has no desire to get mixed up in this stuff. But you know, people with money, that's how it always goes, right? Corrupts. Eventually, it'll get you. I just want to be rich and quiet somewhere, you know. Watch my shows. Watch my sports. Don't have a bedtime. Probably drink too much. Get real fat from eating too much. Fatter, I should say. I don't know if I need to go to a resort. Also, shout out the paparazzi game too. Like, how you have any idea? You're like, yo, my buddy's sister's cousin told me that he knew a guy at 31 Flavors that saw Mike Vrabel with Diana Rossini, and you're like, oh, really? Should we go check this out? And to this texter's point right here, maybe they're in open marriages. Maybe they've stayed married for kids or financial reasons, but don't have a relationship with their spouse. Totally. That totally could happen. Now, that's not what Diana Rossini said when she came out and had to squadouche these rumors.
Again, the quick kibosh to put things out. That's what perks up everyone's ears.
When you're like, no, nope, nothing to see here. Nope. No.
Oh, really?
Go away.
You try to slam the door in my face after I got a glimpse of the party inside. I'm going to want to see what's going on through a window.
I'm not stupid. Do you think I'm stupid?
I can hear music.
Does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch? You know? Like, does he? Well, then why are you trying to bleep him like one? You know? We're not stupid here, kids. We all know what goes on.
Love me some Ving Rhames.
We know what's going on. You can flashy light over here. Hey, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The man behind the curtain's the Wizard of Oz. It has been since the 30s. Like, it's not changing.
His shoes are sticking out from underneath
I can
the
see
curtains.
him. As he's spinning all the dials. That is a really great scene, though. Oh, boy. Just be careful, kids out there, man. Especially if you're rich. Like, people will find you. Remember, people are trying to make a living off destroying your life. That's the thing. People are trying to destroy your life, and you're letting them. You're letting them. Can't have it. Can't coach them. Can't do it. Closing Arguments is next. 105.1 The Fan.
It's time for Easy Play, brought to you by Home Z, making home improvement easy.
Good one-touch passing from the Timbers here. Anthony Mosquera. Kelsey, corner of the 18. Kelsey Back for Anthony. Anthony will serve a ball in. It's not dealt with well by Laporta. Now to DaCosta. DaCosta shot, and the Timbers have taken the lead. David DaCosta, rather, in the second minute of first half stoppage time, has turned this thing on its head just before the half. The Timbers gave up a goal in the 6th minute, and now they lead 2-1.
That's my guy, Fletcher Johnson, on the call. You can catch all Timbers games right here. David DaCosta had one of his better games of the season so far. We'll see if that luck gets any better come Saturday against the LAFC. This Easy Play brought to you by Homesy. Use Homesy's online calculator to estimate your project instantly. Make it easy. Call Homesy. That's Homze. Homesy.com.
We just finished our roof and siding with Homesy. I got a clear itemized estimate from their team. Their certified installers are real pros. It was exactly how home improvement should be.
For a stronger, better-looking home, visit Homesy.com. Make it easy. Call Homesy. CCB number 239804.
The Fan is live on YouTube, Twitch, and now Window Nation brings you The Window into the Fan on-demand YouTube video shorts with your favorite fan shows and hosts. The Window into the Fan is brought to you by Window Nation. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan every day on YouTube with The Fan. Peekaboo! Sports Network.
Spring is in the air, and Alev's long-lasting pain relief is here to keep you moving. The days are longer, and the flowers are blooming. Whether it's gardening, yard work, or just spending more time outdoors, spring has a way of getting us moving despite any body pain. That's where Aleve can keep you going. With just one dose, Aleve gives you long-lasting body pain relief for up to 12 hours. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaid spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Dirt and Spray. Dirt and Spray. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
You can try this at home.
I'm legitimately excited for the first time as a Blazer fan.
Like, next era,
I'm just ready to move on. This team's going nowhere.
But how much are they?
I don't want to pretend to be excited about play-in game. I don't care about a play-in game.
Actually are excited about
I don't care about being the 8th seed in the playoffs. And this isn't like the notion of the season is a failure, because I said it would be a failure to not make the play-in at the start of the year, which I stand by. Look how bad the bottom of the West is. Yeah. I'm not calling the year a failure. I understand the injuries. I get all of that. I finally have hope at the top of the ladder that there's going to be some directions pointed downward of a sense of urgency, and we're going to do some stuff. And
actual accountability.
Right? Like, there's been this fear that I've had of, like, how many years in a row has it just been kick the can down the road? It's the same team next year.
Yep.
I don't have that fear anymore. I'm ready to start that, and I'm tired of pretending to care about the short-term nature of, will they get the 9 seed? Oh, no, now we don't get to host the play-in game.
The home of Dirt and Spray. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on the Fan Sports Network.
I'm a fan.
The firm of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
Which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Coming up on the program tomorrow, it is the start of the Masters. I'd like to have a little Masters conversation. It's a 10 toes down kind of Thursday, as it always is, so we'll have some fun with your 10 toes down. Probably talk Blazers post San Antonio tonight, and Tyson Alger, my good buddy over there at the I-5 corridor. Look out, Eugene Springfield. He's going to join us for a couple seggies tomorrow. Talk Timbers and then maybe a little Ducks as spring practices have began in Eugene. Let's see here. Let's do some cleaning up here. Speaking of the Masters, Bryson DeChambeau is using a 3D printer-made iron. His 5-iron is made by a 3D printer.
Cool. Anything he does, obviously, just
right.
With a grain of salt.
If the headline reads Scotty Scheffler making a 3D printed 5-iron that he created himself, I'm like, what a genius.
Let me see the club.
It's Bryson. I'm like, what a loser.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
he makes things not cool.
I was having a conversation with Dirt and Sprague the other morning, kind of in between segments. I came in and I say hi to them in the morning sometimes. And I was talking with them about, they were having the conversation of what a Masters win would do for who the most sort of thing. And my answer is Justin Rose. I think Justin Rose would do so much for his career to snag that this year.
Plus, it's the monkey off the back too.
And honestly, the big one is DeChambeau. Like, if he wins a Masters, we all have to shut up. You know, and I'm not saying the villain becomes a likable villain. That's not what I mean. But it would go a long way for him to win a green jacket. It really would. Because right now, I mean, I think he's enemy number one. Excuse me, in golf.
He is Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, but without the cool catchphrases. Because Shooter McGavin at least makes me giggle.
Again, he makes you giggle. Do you think it's cool? Do you look at him and go, "Oh, I want to do that"?
No, you are correct.
No,
you are correct. C.J. Stroud, his 5th year picked up by the Texans, along with Will Anderson.
Is C.J. Stroud the best NFL quarterback in Ohio State history?
Oh, easily. It's not close. But everybody else sucks, so I don't know what to tell you.
Low bar, but well done, C.J. Stroud.
Looks like Cade Cunningham is on his way back to recovery, so that's good. I like him.
My MVP bet is already gone.
What was your MVP bet? MVP?
I placed the future on Cade Cunningham.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
I'm going to do the future for next year.
Yeah, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
You talked me into it.
Yeah, right? You see what I'm saying? It's all about narratives in the NBA when it comes. It's all about narratives. Oh, Jokic can't get a 3rd in a row. He's already got 2. Well, maybe he's the best player on the planet, and that's why he should have a 3rd. But no, it's Joel Embiid's time.
He just had his 7th game with 30 points, 10 assists, and no turnovers.
Hey, Russell Westbrook padded stats for a whole season and averaged a triple-double. Let's give it to him. You know who really deserves it? James Harden. He deserves it. You're just like, God, you guys make me so sick. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown can't get one in Boston?
We did have an argument about Luka having the 600 points and that he should be the MVP. Don't disrespect James Harden. He did it before Luka.
Fair, but But you know what I mean? They just create these narratives. Like last year, now it ended up being right because Oklahoma City was really, really good. And SGA is really, really good. But I could see an SGA MVP from a mile away. All you have to do is pay attention to 5 seconds of a national show and know that Cade Cunningham, if not next year, the year after, will win an MVP because it's won in the preseason, offseason, before the season's even started. Because right now, they're going to give it to SGA. And I like SGA a lot. I would argue Jokic and the Nuggets are a worse team and Jokic is baller. But that's not how it goes.
Sometimes that's not how it breaks.
It's not how it goes. Look, if the Cleveland Guardians win the damn AL Central again this year, Stephen Vogt's going to win Manager of the Year for the 3rd time in a row. Because they're just like, oh yeah, man, that team sucks.
And Jose will be 3rd in MVP voting.
You're right. You're damn right he will. Judge will hit 48 instead of 55, but they'll be like, look at the adversary he overcame.
But he'll hit 3 points higher than he hit the year before, so you have to give it to him.
Exactly, man. It's all just fabricated. It's all fake news, man. Dave's not here, man. Made me think of an Office reference, too. I read this funny thing about The Office the other day, too, that people don't ever say, hey, did you watch The Office? They say, hey, do you watch The Office? Which means most of us are continually watching The Office, which I am.
Well, Comedy Central does rerun every episode of that show like they have nothing else to play.
Correct. They might not have anything else to play.
Again, I'm still watching. It's still good.
Blazers will take on the San Antonio Spurs tonight. Sounds like no Victor Wembanyama, no Steph Castle. They're both listed as doubtful. I don't think they're catching OKC for the 1 seed, so rest those dudes. I think Wemby has to play one more game to get postseason, to get season accolades.
Yeah, they are officially listed as out as of now.
Okay, boom. So there you go. So ESPN's pissed because they're going to have to watch our crappy-ass Blazers play nobody on the Spurs playing tonight. Watch Dylan Harper have 35 tonight on us. That'd be funny. But kind of the interesting little tidbits of the game tonight is that Shaedon Sharpe creeped up on the injury report. Listed as doubtful. Vit Krejci also as doubtful, which has a lot of people speculating, does this open the door for one Shaedon Sharpe to play on Friday? Look, I've gone on the record, and I'm going to say it again. I will say this until I'm blue in the face till the end of time. Well, till the end of this season. Don't make the playoffs. Take the draft pick. You get nothing out of doing this.
ESPN says he's out, but it does say still doubtful.
For Wemby?
For Shaedon Sharpe. It says status is out, but CAF is doubtful for Wednesday's game versus San Antonio.
And look, it'd be cool if Shaedon came back. I know, like, the fans are like, oh, but it gives us a chance. Don't you want to see playoff basketball? Not if I'm getting smoked by OKC in 4 games. I don't want that.
We want to see good basketball.
I want to see good basketball. And I don't think having the opportunity to play Oklahoma City in the first round is going to be good basketball. I'm out on that.
Portland is starved for good sports. We get football only for so many weeks of the year where we feel like we are starved of good sports and just sports fandom in general for months out of the year. Give us just a good representation of the game to watch. We'll be happy with it.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what it is. I think we're just so deprived in this city of good teams. Don't get me started on my Portland Timbers. Who's the bad luck charm? Is it you or me, Casey?
Is it both? Is it column A and column B?
It's the combination. We were never meant to be together.
The combination?
You and I were never meant to be together. Well, everybody better get used to it. We're stuck with each other now. And look, side note on Timbers, Grabavoy came out yesterday and said that he wants to give the coaching staff all the chances to win leading up until the World Cup break. So you can read the writing on the wall there, or you can choose other thoughts you want. That's for somebody else to decide, not for me. I'm just here to be company man. Everything is fine. All is calm. Don't worry. Don't pay attention to the man behind the door, behind the curtain. The all-knowing Oz. Have fun with the Blazers tonight. I think any good baseball on tonight. I think a lot of them are day games today. It is getaway day. Detroit and Minnesota is the late game. I'll watch your Yankees tonight. How about that? Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. Daniel will be back in the 2-chair tomorrow, so we'll have the fam back together. Enjoy the rest of your day. It should be a nice one out there. I'm Patrick Harris. That's Casey Smith. Go do something I would do.